Happy Monday night, people. We're going to post this one Monday night. This is Spilling the Tea with Astrology. Spilling the tea with astrology. Spilling the tea with astrology. Friends Brew. So welcome if you're new. And if you're new, please try to hit subscribe. You cannot do that from your Facebook page. So I know some people are watching me on my Facebook page, which you have to go to YouTube directly to do the subscribing and stuff. Tell your friends, help out a girl. This is my new channel. I'm really excited. So part of the new channel is we brought in Star. So this is Star Rodriguez.
Hi guys.
And she told a little bit about herself in the last video, but I did meet her when she was 3, and she lived across the street, went to school, with, preschool with my daughter, and I was like, she's psychic. And she's been working with me ever since. During the times when I'm depressed and can't get out of bed, she'd come over and beg me for a reading. And like, so she would exercise all of my psychic skills because she'd come over and ask, talk about this, talk about that. And we'd be doing all the witchy stuff. And she would get me enthused about it again in times in my life where I was just like giving up because honestly, back in the day, this wasn't really a big thing. Like, you know, well, first of all, YouTube channels were never a thing, obviously, but
now this generation is definitely getting in.
This generation is definitely into metaphysics. They're into the astrology. They're, you know, so it's finally come a place in time where everyone's kind of like down with what's astrology, cool, or I want to get a reading, which I do have awesome personal readings. I don't use cards, I don't use anything, I just channel.
I was just gonna say, it's been awesome to be able to see, like, you know, she's a grown woman, but it's been awesome to be able to see her progress since I was a young girl. You know, she was using cards back then. Now she does not need to. You know what I'm saying? Her readings are a fucking...
They're bomb, bro.
They're bomb. They're so accurate.
That's what they say. I had 2 yesterday, so I'm all pumped. I'm like, oh, I loved it. That was great. I'm in my element. I'm getting my readings. But, so I changed the prices on my psychic readings to $60 a half hour and $120 an hour. I think I'll keep them there. That's what they're charging. That's the going average rate in Connecticut. So, you know, if it gets to a point where I'm overwhelmed with readings or something, I'll change the prices. But for now, I think $60 half hour, $120 an hour is about right. And for birth charts, $50 for your birth chart analysis and $100 for comparing 2 charts like you and your boyfriend or you and your kid. So there's that. All right. So now we're talking about...
The topic is a Cancer. How to win over a Cancer man.
So what makes a Cancer man different from the Cancer woman, because we just talked about a Cancer woman, he tries to hide it better because all that emotional and crying and moody and, you know, he gets offended very easily, sensitive, all that kind of stuff. That is normal in a woman and a female. It's like, oh, that's normal. In today's society, the guy's it's not gonna fly with most guys. They're not gonna show their vulnerability. It's just not a thing that's, maybe someday as the world progresses and whatnot. But I mean, men are more showing emotion now in this day and age than ever before. So I mean, that's true. But still, honestly, there's some sense of macho that most every guys kind of have, where they're going to cover up their sensitivity. So they might be a little grouchy, if anything. They might be a little grouchy, like, why is Jerry grouchy, bro? What is his deal? And that's just his way of deflecting the pain or dealing with anything sensitive that hurts him, is he comes up grouchy, you know? So you may get you may be surprised as your kid, my Cancer man isn't sensitive and he's probably sentimental and you don't know it. He's definitely sentimental. He's keeping every card. He's keeping every present. He's keeping everything that you ever give him his entire life.
He's reminiscing about the memories that you guys have made.
Some Cancers show that, you know, they've got some vulnerabilities. I do know a guy that's a friend right now going through a lot. He's going through a divorce, and it is so insane. I want nothing to do with, like, just even being friends with him anymore because it's so crazy. But we'll figure that out as the road goes on. But being a Cancer for him, he is just broken. And the thing that... Jerry was a Cancer too. I was talking about a guy named Jerry. I've noticed is true. Once they fall in love with either their first love or their first wife, or once they fall in love, they never love anyone else besides, like, they can break up with that person, but they'll never love somebody like,
the same.
They're damaged for life. Like, they're the person who, doesn't bounce back from a breakup. They really don't bounce back. They never bounce back. So be careful of that.
I feel like they're definitely
sentimental. And when they love with everything in them. And even if they find somebody else going down the road, they never feel that same thing. They never love them as much as that person. They never, even if the person's done them dirty, they've cut off their left arm, they still love them. That's just always, their first girlfriend or their first wife or the first person they ever really truly love will be that person. My first boyfriend was Cancer. I broke up with him. I devastated him, to say the least. I'm sure he still thinks about me. He did get remarried and try to go on with his life later on down the road. I'm sure he's doing well, but I know he thinks about me. I know I destroyed him, and that's just another example of, when you're breaking up with a Cancer, it does destroy them, absolutely. So if you be serious, be fucking serious. If you want to play with a Cancer's heart, know that it's for good. It's not a game.
Yeah, I also feel like with that being said, it's obviously they will still, a Cancer man will always still have that love for you, if you were their first love. But they're definitely the ones to hold the grudge.
That is true. They don't only hold on to the good memories, they definitely hold on to the bad memories, and they are the best
grudge. They will never forget that shit.
Best grudge holders. That's a Jerry thing, too. Like, I don't forget you from 1962 before you were born and this happened. I don't forgive you. I don't fucking forgive you. Yeah, so. Yeah. That's another thing they do well. They get hurt. And you don't even realize you hurt them because unless you are another Cancer or a Pisces, you're not really in tune sometimes with like they get hurt over little things and you don't see it. They'll carry that on for months and then they'll come out with it months later. Like, you're still holding a grudge?
Yeah.
But they're also the same person that holds a grudge forever. Once you've pissed them off, they may never come back. They're very final people, cut and dry, black and white, But that's their way of protecting themselves, being one of the most sensitive signs in the zodiac. That's their way of, protecting themselves. It depends on other placements too, just like any astrology chart. If your Cancer man has different air and, fire placements, they're more outgoing, they're more they don't brood and tend to grudge too much. But the more water in the chart, Jerry was a Cancer of the Pisces moon, and like, oh my god,
I feel like
he
the
was
more
just
water,
like he's
emotionally unstable.
That's
what I feel like. I'm sorry.
He's holding a grudge on me from like 8 years ago. No shit, not gonna, maybe more. I don't know.
Who knows?
At least 8 years.
They know.
He won't talk to me. And I don't know how to get back in touch with him. I could talk to his daughter who's on Facebook, get back in touch with him. Now that we're talking about him and it's Mercury retrograde, I probably should. Go back in my past and get stuff out of there and play with it. No, I mean, making amends is a good thing for Mercury in retrograde. That's still a thing. I can't believe I haven't stuttered all my words yet.
Just be careful who you're making amends with.
Yeah. Don't go back and pick somebody from the past that you want to make amends with because you really like them, but they're toxic as fuck,
Yeah.
If Jerry is kind of toxic, let me think about it. Jerry's kind of toxic. He's the reason why I haven't gone back and pulled him out of my past and reconciled and whatnot. But he requires a lot of attention. He wants, like, as a friend, he wants to talk on the phone all the time, and he wants to see. He requires a lot of attention, a lot of tender, loving care. So, definitely don't be flighty and don't be. There's certain signs that don't go well with Cancer. Just like a lot of the air signs are very not feeling. They're kind of cold. So are Earth signs.
They're more calculated. They're more calculated with their emotions.
Like Gemini, Aquarius, Libra.
Yeah.
She's a Gemini with an Aquarius moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a Scorpio rising. She has the same exact placements as Prince, and almost the same exact placements as Marilyn Monroe. Woo, 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 woo. Gotta love that, right? A little Gemini beauty in the room. But Gemini may also destroy, and I have a Gemini moon, which is why I destroyed my Cancer first boyfriend, because I'm flaky. I'm flighty. I was young. I wanted to see what else was out there. I was having fun. I wasn't settling down. Cancer's like, hey, we're serious after 3 dates. We're settling down. Let's move in together. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
They're very, and Gemini's like, I'm dating 3 other people. What are you waiting?
Yeah, no, I can definitely say
you're
from
moving
experience.
too fast, and you're very definitely about the monogamous stuff. I'm not ready to settle down yet. So make sure you're ready to get serious and settle down. You know.
Definitely can say from experience she is not lying because. I was not talking, but I was flirting. I'm a Gemini. I flirt, you know. It's not like I'm purposely doing it, but it's natural. Like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I was flirting with this person, and he was a Cancer, and like within like a week, he was calling me his girlfriend. No, I'm sorry, but we never established anything like that. You know, he just jumped right into calling me or, you know, trying to label stuff, and it was just hilarious. But
they get serious really quickly.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is it's dangerous if you get you're a Gemini, let's say, and you get involved with this Cancer very quickly. You're going to break his heart. You got to tell him right up front and hold him back and let him know.
You're definitely going to feel really overwhelmed.
Unless you have other placements in Cancer or Pisces where you're in tune with their sensitivities,
right.
then that is idealistic for the Cancer to have somebody really understand their feelings, their insecurities, their worries, their sadness, their moodiness, their all the things that come along with them, and they need tender, loving care. Sometimes Gemini is kind of cold and calculating, and Gemini wants to have fun. I've said that before in my other video. Girls just want to have fun.
People. We're very curious people.
Girls just want to have fun. They're fun. Yeah. And I'm not saying Cancer isn't fun, but they're definitely more of a homebody like the Taurus. The Taurus is another feminine sign, which is funny because they're both the homebodies, where so far we've done Aries and Gemini, which are not your homebodies whatsoever. They're the masculine signs. And Taurus and Cancer are your feminine signs and more of the homebodies, tend to the home, tend to the children, kind of a thing like that. The traditional this, the traditional that. So
if you're looking for a friend to go out with and have like fun plans, fucking having
a guy can go and have fun.
Do not pick a Cancer. If you want a friend that is gonna sit with you, stay home, watch movies, eat food, and like do self-care things, makeup and stuff, like get a Cancer friend. Because that's what you guys are going to be doing.
Cancers like good food. They like to be taken out to eat as well because they are such good cooks. They enjoy being taken out to eat. That's one of their things. But Cancers are a one-on-one kind of thing. Whereas like Gemini and Aries, your masculine, outgoing, more extroverted signs are like, what was I saying?
They're more outgoing. They're just they like spontaneity.
Oh, one-on-one versus, like, they don't mind going out in a group and they're group-oriented. They're extroverted. Cancers and Tauruses are both a little introverted, more in homebodies-ish, and they're more along the lines, if they go out, they usually go out with one person. They're not in... It depends what their other signs are in. If they've got other signs in Gemini and Aries and things like that, then it's possible they have a ton of friends and go out all the time. But the typical Cancer likes a one-on-one date alone at home, maybe smoke a joint together, That's like the best way to really get Cancer to bring their walls down, because the Cancer man's got the walls up really high because he's so sensitive and vulnerable in there. So once you get him to bring down his walls and get inside there, don't fuck him over. Don't break his heart. Oh,
yeah,
please don't break his heart.
Especially if you've gotten him to that point, because then, if you do fuck him over, he's going to be like, well, this is they're going to sit there and think, well, these are the reasons why we don't let our walls down or our guards down.
And then it brings the walls back up and then never bring them back down again for
and then it's harder
3 years.
Yeah, it's harder to get them down the next time. To be honest, they just both.
And it happens over and over and over again because I'm dating in my 40s, and in my 40s there's still Cancers that have built up hurt after hurt after hurt after hurt, and they honestly they need to figure out a way to let go. You know what I'm saying? And forgive these people just for themselves and let it go because what's the thing?
How Cancers basically, they hold a lot of emotional baggage.
They do that over the years. Like, you're right, by the time you're in your 40s and you're with a Cancer and he's been through quite a different heartbreaks, it's harder and harder and harder to get his walls down. Right. So I think that's where we were going with that.
Right. It builds more tougher. It, gets tougher.
He also likes the beach any time of year, just to go by himself, even just some kind of solitude, some peace that he finds there. Because everyone has their happy place, and for a Cancer, it's definitely the beach. So they're born in July. They're a water sign. They're sign of the crab, sign of the moon, the ocean's the tide. So that's definitely Cancer. Pisces too, Little Mermaids, but
yep,
Cancer's your definite Little Mermaid. Yeah. So
how to win over?
How to win over the Cancer man?
What would a Cancer man like?
They're definitely sexual, and some people say sex isn't love.
I feel like Cancer men like to talk about sex a lot.
No, they like to have sex. They're very people say Scorpio is the most sexual. Well, we're up there, don't get me wrong, but in my experiences, Cancer men have been the most sexual sign, and they are back together. Taurus is a giver, feminine sign. Cancer is a giver, feminine sign. So they are a good lover. They take care of you in bed. You leave bed satisfied. You're not like, what was that? You're like, if you don't smoke a cigarette, you're smoking a fake cigarette. You're like, that was just great. But so he will possibly move fast in the jumping into bed department. And like I was saying, some people think sex is love, and that's not true, and this isn't true. For a Cancer, it's a lot true. The physical part of the relationship has a lot to do with their emotional well-being. So I feel like they need touch. So touch is their love language. Yes, they need definitely. A lot. Back rubs, hair rubs, foot rubs,
physical affection,
touch. Just so, and that of course includes making love, having sex.
Right.
So that's one of their things.
I feel like
so they do to them. If you have sex with them on, let's just say you have sex with them on the first or second date, they're not the type to say you're not wifey material, you slept with me, they're not going to judge you because they felt loved by that experience, the sexual experience. So when he feels loved by that's his love language. So he's not going to judge you or put you in some kind of weird place if you have sex with him right away. This is probably the only sign in the zodiac that you can have sex with right away and it still turns out into something really nice, because it's never recommended. You're always supposed to wait a couple of weeks, wait a couple of months. And I do recommend that you try to wait as long as possible, because getting a solid foundation of friendship down before, a relationship is obviously really important.
I feel like, again, with trying, doing things for the Cancer man that would, intrigue them and kind of like win them over. Cancers, like we had mentioned before, they're very caring people. They like to provide and care for others. So I feel like maybe even doing sitting down with your Cancer boyfriend and putting face masks on him and popping his pimples.
That's back to pampering him. That's back to pampering him as much as we were talking about pampering. I think the woman, but the guy loves to be pampered just as much. The foot rubs, the back rubs, the hair rubs.
Definitely.
Can I get you something? And simple things like, can I get you something to drink?
Taking care
of
him.
He would. He is the type who would probably get his nails done. Very metrosexual. Very
just the
likes to be pampered.
Up,
likes to be pampered.
Yeah. For sure, yeah.
I think we're getting towards the end. I'm having a hard time coming up with much more.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? He will help you in cooking and cleaning. Back to being Cancer women being good cooks. Cancer men are great cooks. They like to stay home. They like to cook. They like to make you dinner. So another good thing is cook. Take a night off and cook one meal a week for him, or 2 meals a week for him that are your specialty, that are banging. I got a couple of dishes in my back pocket, or even do dinnerly or something. Just cook a couple nights a week for him to give him the night off, and hopefully it's good food. That's why I'm saying something like dinnerly if you're not really a chef like me, But also cooking with them, that could be romantic and weird. A lot of people like me are get the fuck out of my kitchen when I'm cooking. But Cancer finds that's back to being a weird love relationship, food and cooking and making food together. It's really kind of, because it can become romantic. It really can. And I don't really see it. I've never done it. My Cancer boyfriend did not cook for me, but we were like 16, you know. And Jerry didn't cook, but he didn't have a wife to really cook for, or a girlfriend to cook for. Once the Cancer has a woman to cook for, he'll step up and start cooking, and that's why you maybe want to take a couple nights over for him. But he's going to impress you with his cooking, his love life, you know, his love language, to say, I made this for you. Do you want a snack? You want to, how you doing? Yeah. They're always going to ask you if you're hungry or not, which is good because, you know, they're the nurturing sign of the zodiac. You know, what have I said in a lot of videos as far as anger goes, especially the Aries temper video, where I'm like, Aries, what was I saying? You know, they have a temper, and I'm losing it.
She's losing it.
I'm losing it.
The Aries temper.
They get angry, right? I'm trying to like, where was I going with that? I
don't know.
I did talk about
I think we pretty
feeding
much
them, right? We talked about like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, hangry. Every sign gets hangry. Every human gets hangry. Once you're hungry and you get cranky. It's normal. I don't care who you are. Your blood sugar drops and you get cranky. You know, and Cancer kind of like, Cancer's favorite thing is, did you eat? Are you hungry? Want to eat? Want to get something to eat? Are you hungry? That's their way of nurturing, to make sure that you're not in a bad, they're moody, so they don't want anyone else to be in a bad mood because they're hungry. If it's something as fixable as doing cooking, which they love to do, or they just love to feed. They're like a grandmother, like a mother. They're a very motherly sign. So they're going to definitely cut hangry off at the pass. They're smart about making sure it's not a physical reason why the person's in a bad mood, you know, trying to keep their mood level, because, you know, if a Cancer's person has their mood level, it keeps them stable. If they pick somebody who is unstable emotionally, that makes them unstable emotionally. So they have to be careful about picking people who are emotionally unstable. And that goes for both the Cancer woman and the Cancer man, I think. I think I've said it a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. I spent the last week kind of wallowing in Cancer energy, where I felt stuck. I couldn't push through. Star kept falling through, and our plans to get together kept falling through. And I hadn't made a video since last Tuesday.
So
it is Mercury retrograde.
Keep that in mind.
So things aren't as easy as you would think. But yeah, so I'm sorry that I haven't been here in a week, and that won't happen again. But we got ourselves fixed together, and we're gonna make this work out as well as possible. And that's it. So like, share, subscribe, donate, love me, get a reading, you know, and definitely comment, say hi to Star. Welcome. Hello. Star. You know, this is gonna be exciting, right?
Yeah, definitely. You'll be seeing more of me.
You'll be seeing a lot more of her. All right, until tomorrow, people, I'm gonna ring us out with the singing bowl. It's a heart chakra singing bowl, in case I haven't mentioned it 1,000 times.